Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm incorporating a new uh, lesson. It's going to be on Thursdays, and it's called Survival Tips Thursday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 10 survival tips, and then once reach the end of my list, I'll just rotate, just rotate the lessons, and just repeat, repeat, repeat. So today I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be discussing are survival tips that you can uh, kind of use and get prepared for when you have a limited budget. Okay. Water purification. Access to clean water is crucial for survival. Boiling, filtering, or using purification tablets can make contaminated water safe to drink. So you might want to kind of go online and try to get some tips on how you can purify water. Okay. Boiling is a method that it might be easier for people depending on where you're at. But you just go online and get you some information on some ways, the simplest ways you can use to purify your water. Okay. Emergency food storage. Have a small supply of non perishable food items like canned goods, rice, and dried beans to sustain you in case of shortages. Everybody should, depending on your diet, you need to do that. You should have that anyway, be stocked up ahead of time, just in case, so you can be able to survive. Urban foraging. Learn to identify edible plants in your area. This can supplement your food supply in an emergency. So go online and look and find out what plants that you can eat, that you can just go out and look for and eat. When I was growing up, when my father was alive, we lived off, he was a all seasons um, person. He was a hunter. So he whatever the season one it was, that's how we ate like that, depending on the season when it was fishing. He fished and he hunted, depending on what the season was. So I grew up like that. First aid kits. A well-equipped first aid kit can be a lifesaver in case of injuries and medical emergencies. Everybody should have a first aid kit. You can go to a Dollar Tree and get you some first aid stuff. Everybody should have some bandages and some basic first aid uh, supplies. Everyone. Wound care. Learn how to care and dress wounds to prevent infection. You go online and find out the basic things that you need, like alcohol, peroxides, antibiotic creams. You can get a lot of those things from the Dollar Tree. When you get a few dollars, take $10 or whatever and start getting stocked up. Go to Dollar Tree or somewhere inexpensive and start stocking up on things like that. You can get stuff like that from the Dollar Tree. There's no excuse for anybody to not have some of the basic things. Shelter building. Understand how to create makeshift shelters using available resources. Just kind of go online and get some ideas. Kind of look around in your environment to kind of figure out if it was a case of emergency, what could you do and where could you go for emergency shelter. That's very important. Fire starting. Know how to start a fire using various methods like matches, lighters, or fire starters. That's very important. Go online again and get you some basic tips on some other things that you can use for fire starting. Navigation skills. Familiarize yourself with your local area, including alternative routes and landmarks. Everybody should know how to get through wherever they're at. You should be able to navigate. You should be able to know your north from your south and your east from your west. Okay. If you look up, the sun rises from the east and it sets in the west. When you look up north, so if you can do that, try to get your bearings like that. Just remember that. Okay. That's just basic. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. That'll give you some kind of idea. You know, the north and south might be a little bit. You might have to navigate if your bearings are off. But just keep that in mind. You need to know where you're living and what directions is east, west, north, and south. Okay. East is to my left, the way I'm standing right now, and the west is to my right. The north is in my back, and the south is to my front. You need to become aware of that, because you're gonna have to know how to navigate wherever you are in your area in case of an emergency, God forbid. Emergency contacts. Keep a list of important contacts, including family, friends, and local emergency services. Everybody should have that, information. Basic self-defense. Learn basic self-defense techniques to protect yourself if necessary. That's very important. Start exercising and getting into shape. If you go back and look at some of the videos when I'm talking about grounding, you'll see me out there doing stuff. Everybody should know basic, practice, because you might have to defend yourself, God forbid, but you want to be able to kind of defend yourself and pay attention to who you're around and your environment. You're gonna have, God forbid. But anyway, this has been your Survival Tips Thursday. This is Michelle Strickland, and remember to smile this day anyway, and reach out to one person at a time, one person at a time, one person at a time. Okay.